Okay, so I've got these coils pulled off, and along with it came the rear brake reservoir. When I did that, the hose just snapped right off. You can see, I was just trying to take the clamp off, and the hose just came with it. So I'm gonna have to get a new one of those, which is not a problem. Anyway, back to the coils. You can get a little better look at them now. There's one with the broken terminal tip. And I'm going to set you down here for a second. Yeah, so this one had the broken terminal tip here. You can see that, but you know, luckily it still has another one, so I don't see any issue with this coil. It should be good. If you look down, you can't really tell, but if you look down inside, it's all clean. On this side, it's where everything was green, so that'll need to be cleaned up. But my biggest issue right now is, I don't know if you can see this, but the body of it is chewed up from, I guess, mice urine. So I don't know how that'll affect the coil itself, but that one might need to be replaced. And if I replace it, I'm going to replace both of them. There's no sense in doing just one. So it doesn't look like it wants to come out of there, so I'm going to have to play with it to get it out of there. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do next. Pull the brake reservoir off, pull the coils out, then I'm going to clean this plate up and paint it. Since I've got it out, may as well. And that's where we're at. Alright, here we are. I've got the coils pulled off here, as you can see. I think I told you that earlier, you're not impressed. But this coil looks like it's probably okay. I don't really see anything wrong with it other than the missing terminal right there. I think you can see that. Yeah, it's just kind of missing a terminal right there. Oh wait, let me come down closer. So, but that would have been okay because this one's still here. So, I'm not worried about that one. But this coil is pretty bad off. I think it needs replaced. I don't know if you can see, but the casing is just eaten away, and I can like just peel the rubber back on it. So, like, I can probably pop that whole top off right now if I wanted to. And it's all rusted up. This one is also pretty rusty and corroded. So I think because of this right here, I'm definitely just gonna order 2 new coils and be done with it. I'm not gonna try to mess with it. I'm not gonna try to start it with this one or anything. Just, I'm not in that big of a rush. You know, I would love to, but I'm just not gonna do it. I don't want to waste my time and yours. So, in the meantime, I will get some new coils, and coming back over here, let me see if I adjust my lights, you can see it a little better. I've pulled the wires out so I have good access to them. Like I said, a couple of these are frayed, so we're going to need to just replace those completely. I'll probably snip them back in here somewhere below this grommet, and just put all new wires on. Not this one. I mean, this one looks fine. I don't see anything wrong with it. Oh no, it's eating through. Yep, replace them all. So these all get replaced. And like I said, I have new leads, so I'm not worried about that. The other side looks fine. They just need cleaned up, but because they're green on the inside, well, I got green tape to tell me which one's which, but because they're green, I may clip them off and just put new connectors on them too, just for the heck of it. That way I know they're good and I don't have to worry about it, since I'm getting brand new coils anyway. So yeah, I think in the meantime, I'll take care of those few electrical issues. Well, I'll get the coils ordered first. Gotta find them. But I'll get the coils ordered, then start taking care of these electrical issues here so that it's ready to put back together when I get the new coils. And the plate that was holding the coils is here. As you can see, I started sanding it down and cleaning it up. I've still got a bit to go. So it was really bad. I truly would prefer to just have a new one, but yeah, I probably don't want to have to spend the money just for a piece of metal like this, you know. When I can just clean it up and repaint it. I'll primer it and repaint it with a good thick enamel paint, and then it'll be fine. And then it'll just sit right back in there like this. And then we can put the coils back in, and maybe by then I'll have everything else put back together. The carbs and the air box, and oh, I need to order air filters too. Let me show you the air filters. Here are the air filters. This is, you know, pretty nasty and dirty and rusted up. You can see I also marked an L on there for left and right. So that's the left one. Look at it, just so rusted it's falling apart right there. So yeah, I'll get new air filters. Clean up all the gunk on the tubes. These tubes come out. That might need a new tube. It's eaten through right there at the top. I don't know if you can see that right there. So yeah, that's the next step. I'm not too worried about that tube being eaten up there. It's outside anyway, so it's not really big problem. Mainly just replacing these air filters. So air filters and coils are definite. I've got a couple other things on the list. The rear brake hose and the engine oil breather hose both need to be replaced. I'm not going to replace that now. I've already determined that I'm not going to do that yet unless I absolutely have to. So these two parts can be easily found at the auto parts store. It's the coils that I'll have an issue with in the air filters. I found the air filters already on eBay for like 36 bucks a piece. So I'm just going to see if I can find them any place cheaper. If not, then I'll just get them off eBay. The coils themselves I have not looked at yet, so I'm about to go inside and do that. And that's about it for now. Next time I talk to you, I may actually have the battery packs, I'm sorry, the carburetors back on, and the air cleaner housing back on, and possibly even that tray, and these connectors are all going to be redone. So hopefully the next time I talk, that's probably what will happen. I'll have all of that already done. You don't need to see all that. It's pretty basic. If you know anything about mechanics, you can put something back together easily. Yeah, this is where the oil breather hose came. It just snapped right off also, just like the brake line did. You know, it's old rubber. I expected these types of things. So yeah, I would think I was a little overzealous the first time I started tearing into it and thinking it would start right away when there was no chance of that. But that's why I go through it all, you know. Just give it a whirl, see what happens. You never know. It could have. But once I started seeing how the coils were and that ignition amplifier, yeah, there's no possible way it was going to start. So, good thing is this little relay here, which is probably, I'm guessing, the horn. It's either the horn or the turn signals. Well, it could be turn signals, I don't know. Let's see, white lines. I don't know. Yeah, it's either the horn or the turn signal. Probably the turn signals now I'm thinking about it. But it's neat. It's on a little spring. So that seems to be okay. I'm not going to mess with that right now. And if it has an issue, I'll probably pull it off and just replace it with an electronic one. That one looks like it's a mechanical. So there's nothing wrong with mechanical ones. It's just, you know, electronic ones you can adjust. So that's all. Yeah, that's about where I'm at. I'm Gonna do these wires, order new coils and air filters, paint this tray here after I finish getting all the rust out of it, and then put all of that back together. That way once the coils get here, I can just slip them right in and, you know, be ready to go. I'll also get a new battery. I'm gonna put that on my list. Battery. So, I mean, we're not doing too bad. Once I get all the things on my list here and the coils, I should be able to try to turn her over. That's about where I think we're at. And unless there's something wrong, I forget what this little piece down here is called, so let me refer back to my manual. Number 9, which is, oh, the rectifier. Right. So, unless there's something wrong with this little box right down here, right there, it looks a little rusty, but, you know, I'm going to pull it off there and clean it up, see how it goes. But unless there's something wrong with that, I mean, that's all the other major electronic components now. The amplifier, ignition amplifier is good to go. Going to get new coils, replace some wiring, you know, minimal wiring, clean up some other, and I think it should start. I really do. I really do think it'll start after all of that. But yeah, so I'm not going to bore you guys with all the other stuff as far as, you know, clipping terminals and stripping the wire and, you know, adding a new one on there. You can probably figure that out on your own. And if you haven't, then you probably shouldn't be doing this kind of job. So, yeah. So that's what I'll replace that too. I don't. That goes to oh shoot, what's that part called? It's not on here. Yeah, it is here. This number 40, which is, oh, the rear stoplight switch. Yeah. So okay. So there we go. See, that's why I love that book. I can just, if I don't know what something is, I just look at it in there and it tells me. You know. So perfect. So happy Gary gave me that book. Like I said, worth its weight in gold. So we're making progress. I imagine it's going to be maybe another couple weeks before I can actually try to kick it over. I'm imagining the coils will probably have to come from England. That's where I seem to be finding the most parts for this motorcycle, and I'm just not willing to risk it with this the way it is. I don't want to, you know, mess anything else up that's already messed up when there's no reason to. You know, I'm not in that big of a hurry to try to get it started. I would love to, but I'm not going to risk ruining something else, or maybe this exploding. I don't know. I don't even know if they do explode. I'm just saying. I'm not willing to risk all of that just to try to get it to start up, you know? So there we are. I'm probably not going to make another video for a little while unless something interesting pops up, which I don't foresee happening. We're talking basic painting and basic electrical connections, so that's all I'm really going to work with. Unless something comes up with that rectifier, I probably won't even make a video of it until I get everything all back together and get the new coils put in. So until next time, take care. I want to show you guys something real quick. While I was doing this, I just realized my terminals aren't going to be covered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that one back off. Just cut it and put a new one on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some shrink tube down on it first. Then I will solder that together, and then slide this on it and pinch it in. Then I'll pull my shrink tube back up and around all the way like that. That way this piece is covered. See? I should have done that on the other one. I haven't done it in a long time, so I forgot. That's basically what it comes down to. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that real quick. Another way you can make sure you're covered if you don't have the little rubber pieces that come with them. So that's what I'll be doing. Alright,